Hi, I'm Regan Shields Ives. I'm a principal and I lead our K-12 studio sector.
Hi, I'm Lamarre from Finegold Alexander, a senior associate and an accredited learning environment planner.
So for close to 60 years, Finegold Alexander has been designing educational spaces that cross all different grade configurations, and whether they're new construction, renovation, or everything in between. And we approach our process by really listening and engaging with each individual community to understand what their needs are. And we focus on meeting with not only the administrators, the educators, students, community members, and parents to understand what their needs are for education, as far as their goals and the school culture that they're trying to establish. So these conversations really range from what classrooms look and feel like, and where the boundaries for learning are. And oftentimes we hear there are no boundaries. We also talk about creating the right kind of environmental space within the school, having natural light, access to views, also great indoor air quality. And then we think about the spaces outside of the classroom, where learning can happen not only outside of the classroom within the building, but outside the building as well. And of course, safety and security is always part of the conversation as well. So while many of the projects that Finegold Alexander works on range from new construction, renovation projects, we understand that districts don't always have the resources to do these full-blown projects, but the need is still there. So how can we work with communities to look at their current assets, see what can be built upon, improved upon, or changed with minimal impact to the rest of the building? So recently, we gathered a group of students together in what we would call Anywhere USA High School. And we asked them their particular, about their particular learning environments, what was working for them, what they don't like about the space, and how they can learn better, just by tuning the dials, making some, minor changes to the spaces to improve that learning environment for them.
You should almost walk into a classroom and not know what subject is being taught.
Really?
Because that means the classroom you can get anything kind of done in that classroom.
I think I usually like working in groups more because I find it kind of hard working by myself sometimes. It's easier to work in a group setting.
I feel like for me it depends on what class I'm in. So in classes where the teacher is giving instruction, I like kind of what we're in right now, a U shape, so if we can discuss it, we can all see at the same time. Or even just traditional rows, so we can all face forward. But in other classes, science and stuff like that, when we're working in labs usually, I like sitting in groups, so it's we can all work together. So I feel like it depends on what class I'm in specifically, but yeah.
To whip out my research I did, I found that it's most important for classrooms to not be in traditional rows, and that it's better to have a classroom that can accustom to what you're learning on. So that way having traditional rows and desks are always the best way to learn, and that it's better to have a desk, chairs and desks that can move around.
I would make it more of a U shape like this, so we can all talk to each other at once, and then but also see Mr. P and the board at the same time. I would say I can focus more when it's more natural lighting versus being in a room where it's all of these lights, because in Mr. Hitu's old room, it had no windows and it was the worst experience ever. I hated that class so much.
Do we like the window panes that just let it light even if we're not using it?
Yeah, I like the big windows.
Yeah, I like big window because more light.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, I think that if you focus on more windows that you can see out of Bagnall's room, he has all the high windows, and then he has one singular skinny window that you can see out of, but he has the shades down, so you actually can't see anything.
I like the high windows too.
I like how with Case, you guys are talking about right next to Mr. Cologne's room, there's a space. It's not just all hallways, and if you looked at it from over top, it's a grid block. He has, or not he, but next to his room, there's an area that's a cube, you have a room. I like that, how some of the hallways end into little squares, and we would go out there. When I had them as a freshman, we would go out there and work, and we could work in a circle, and there'd be different groups out there. Versus in the hall, it's not as fun. You all get cramped to the side. People run through and get annoyed with you for being in their way.
Mhm.
I like that. I like the space at the end of the hallways. At least where the hallways connect
Yeah.
to each other.
Agreed.
So a lot of new classrooms are designed with breakout spaces as part of them. If you guys have been to Somerset or some of these other schools, is that something that you think would be of value?
I mean, I think that open area down there near like Crossan's room and Colombe's room is really like important for our school. Like I feel like we use that area a lot. I know in like math when like the weather was bad outside, you guys did like a whole like thing out there with like the baseball field, or like in Colombe's class I'll have us do experiments and go out into the class, and like we need a big open area to do that. So I really think that like the hallway area will be important, and that it should be like there should be some areas where it is wide enough to like get stuff done as a class, or like breakout areas like that.
At Anywhere USA High School, I'm sure this is a space that looks very familiar to all of you. The desks are lined up in a row, the desktops are attached to the chairs, the shades are drawn, and the teacher desk has a whole host of things, a variety of things spread out all over their desks.
And as you just heard from the students, now you really know what they think of a space like that and how it works with them, sort of an educational experience. These minor changes that we're proposing, simple moves such as the flooring and some wall covering, really allows the students and the teacher to engage with new furniture in a different environment. And the academic performance that we would see from students, you've heard it in their voices, will be elevated just from these simple moves that don't cost a lot.
Another vantage point within the classroom, you see a lot of misaligned storage, just trying to take use of all the space that is available. But one of the things that's also telling about this image is that there is no extended learning beyond the classroom.
As you heard the students' wishes to get up and move and to work in groups and to have a more cohesive yet expandable learning experience, simple moves again, having managed storage throughout the space for the teachers, because we don't want to just get rid of their storage, we know they need it, and then being able to see and expand beyond the walls of the classroom allows students to work and have some autonomy in their experience.
And what we heard from some of the students is how inflexible furniture can be. And you look at some of the flooring in these classrooms, the ceilings, the type of lighting. These are things that when students are spending a majority of their time indoors, their minds look around and they see and they absorb their environment.
And a lot of these spaces are less than 900 square feet. So it's really easy and adaptable to bring in space-specific units, whether it's lighting or air conditioning, to change that whole experience from indoor air quality to the temperature that they're in, the daylighting that they're getting, and then how does that work with the technology in the space? These are very simple moves.
And students love windows. They love to be able to look out, to see the natural environment beyond them. And we know that teachers love shades. So there's that constant push and pull in the classroom space. And this, unfortunately, is what a lot of classrooms look like most of the time throughout the day, whether it's a sunny day or a cloudy, rainy day.
With simple changes to the window walls, with some solar shading and some solar treatment, we're able to allow those students to see out the windows and to engage in that daylighting and to feel that outdoors natural environment that we know from a biophilic point of view helps with their cognitive development. So as we hope you just saw, being able to transform these classrooms, given the adaptive reuse that Finegold Alexander is an expert at, as well as our K-12 experience, to bring these types of learning environments to students well within a budget, proving that you don't have to knock down the walls of the school or the classroom and make major changes to really make a change in the way that the students are able to learn, the experience that even the teachers have, as well as the students, so that the outcomes that you're expecting to do can be done, not just in one school project, but throughout your entire district. So give us a call if you're interested. We're here, we're ready, and we'd love to work with you. Thank you.